The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. And now here's a carry heading left. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
They'll drop the throw. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down. Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. Tight end on the corner, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Here we go now. Green, 39. Going to give this time to the tailback. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
All right, here we go.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And his kick is good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive for him here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first and let everyone start to celebrate.
This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. Now a play fake here on first down. And he spots Henderson open left side. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And this is up and good to make it 7-3. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up the third down.
And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets out to an early lead over the Dolphins. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a handoff as they run left side. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball.
They'll look to throw. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. And you got caught in between and created a foul.
Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-6 our score, and we're back to Arrowhead after this. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. This is taken at about the 14. And now running right through it. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. And when you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense, it's really kind of geared to stop that play. Your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
Throw left side complete. That's Carter. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down.
Partner, when you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense, because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football, and that really hurts you as an offense.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. So out now come the Cardinals. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Henderson, and they're able to get this one across the 35. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. They go play action here on first down. His throw incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Terry. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Back to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded at the 20. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, complete. That's Love. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he slides to avoid the hit. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And just like that, it's 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw again. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll set up to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. They're going to look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Henderson. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. They'll look to throw again. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Let's go! Blue landed! Blue landed!
They'll throw now on the final play. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top, as we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports halftime report. The Chiefs are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Cardinals didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now, so late in the first half, Copel's got it on the run, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. The lead now at 6. So that'll wrap it up for us here at the EA Sports Studio. We'll head back now to Kansas City for the start of the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get and the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. but they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And this is incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Second down here after the incomplete pass. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down. Fresh set of downs here. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. Now they'll run on the draw. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go! Green 19!
And that is incomplete. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Now Dawson for the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the third. After the touchdown, it's Dawson on to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nowadays, many defensive lines are coached to play the run on their way to the quarterback, and that's exactly what they did.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And the third down pass falls incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
The Cardinals on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To the flat, that's complete to his running back. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And now here comes Kansas City. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. 2nd down and 4.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Set. Boom, landed.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his
He got
rhythm is just
confused.
off?
I
He's
don't
got
know.
thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown. But no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker out there. Kick it. You got to take the chance to take the lead right now. You don't want to put it back on your defense.
And this one is right through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front. But then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a good game. A good pickup there, a 22. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go. Blue landed.
They'll set up a throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point try now for Dawson. He's got it, and it's now a 21-16 lead. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room, and they'll turn things over here to the backup to see if he can dig him out of this hole. Over the middle, it's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Third down now following the completed pass.
Come on, let's go.
Here's Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Fielded just inside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Hasn't had his best game running the football here tonight, but, hey, that's a critical spot right there to convert on third down, and he did it.
And the lights are shining just a little bit brighter right now, aren't they? You remember the beginning of the game? If he gets this first down, everybody's happy. That's cool. But here, that was critical, and it really energizes them. Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
12 yards there as they move the chains. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
Let's go! Green, 39!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Let's go! 319! 319!
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big 3rd down.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And no, it's incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. Looks to be right around the 40. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Second and just 1.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. With 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down.
Let's go.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, and now some space to operate. Past the 20. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now a 1st down following that long gain.
Come on, let's go.
He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. The Chiefs will try and get to the line quickly. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And not great starting field position here for the offense.
Let's go! 3-19!
And he'll give it here to his running back. And hello, he's going to be knocked backward as he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. On third down, it's Cross, and he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Andy Lee now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. A fourth-quarter score from the Meadowlands. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they can hold on to that lead to the end, it would up their win total to 7. They'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd. See if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
So 2nd and 10 here. Rodgers to throw. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. 20. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Now Dawson for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Cardinals defense as they head out to set up shop. They've got the victory in sight. You've been in this spot before back in your playing days. How nice is it to go out there pretty much knowing this is a victory?
It's beyond nice. It's what you build for each and every week that you're getting ready to play. And that's a tough, long week of practice. But to be able to turn it into a win and be able to enjoy it, Yeah, that's why you play.
Now they'll just be looking here for one final stop in the waning moments. And the connection not there. Incomplete. Just 14 seconds down to the final couple of plays here.
Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
On the mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that should just about put this one in the win column for the Cardinals. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play.
Let's go.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Arizona, it's a second win on the year now as they move to 2-8. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.